I love following fashion trends, but I know that not everyone does. And in today's video, I'm sharing some what I believe are valid reasons why you shouldn't follow the trends. I think some of you may actually fall into this category. So if you would like to see why perhaps following the fashion trends is not a good idea, then just keep watching. Hi, I'm Leonie and welcome back to my channel. Whenever I create fashion trends videos, I get so many comments on those videos from people saying that they disagree with fashion trends, they don't like following them. I often wonder why they've clicked on a fashion trends video in the first place, but that's kind of beside the point. The fact is there are a lot of you out there that don't like following fashion trends. So it got me thinking about this a little bit further. And there are some really valid reasons why I think perhaps some people should not follow fashion trends. And today I'm going to share them with you. Now you'll have to just excuse me, I am in my comfy gear here. It is a really chilly, windy, rainy day in Auckland. So I'm snuggled up and just getting comfy to talk about some of the reasons why I think it's not always a good idea for some people to follow fashion trends. Now I recently did a video listing the reasons why I think we should follow fashion trends, and even on that video I got lots of comments from people saying that they think fashion trends are ridiculous. So I thought, okay, let's try and balance things a little bit. So today's video is all about why we shouldn't follow fashion trends. Now don't get me wrong, I'm always going to be an avid fashion follower, and if you want to find out why, I will leave a card to that video. I think it's there, maybe it's there, I can never remember. I'll leave a card to that video so you can click on through once you've watched this one and see why I think it's really valuable, certainly for me and I'm sure a lot of you, to follow the fashion trends. But in today's video, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why I think some people perhaps shouldn't. So let's get started. One of the most obvious reasons not to follow fashion trends is because, put simply, they can be really expensive. Not many of us have extra cash to splash on clothes, and if we're always avidly following the trends, there's this kind of pressure to always update and buy more, buy new, and that's always going to be costly. So I think when it comes to following fashion trends, the number one reason not to really avidly follow the trends is because it can be expensive. Another really valid reason to not follow fashion trends is because we know that fashion, and certainly fast fashion, has a really bad impact on our environment. So if you are really conscious of the environment and you are trying to do better, following fashion trends can often be just too much of a temptation. It encourages you to buy more, and as we know, overconsumption is killing our planet. So I suppose a reason to not be an avid follower of the trends is to protect the environment and consume more consciously. And since we're talking about trends, and in particular not following them, I also wanted to share with you guys a beautiful bag that I was gifted by a brand called Teddy Blake. Now, this video isn't sponsored by Teddy Blake, but I wanted to share this beautiful bag with you because we're talking about not following trends, and I think leather bags and accessories generally are not trend focused. For me personally, if I'm going to invest a significant amount of money in something, I don't want it to be a trendy item. I want it to be something that I can wear and use and love for years to come. So when I was gifted this beautiful little bag, and let me show it to you, I actually picked it out myself. It's a cute little white genuine leather bag, and it is a little crossbody bag. I went for white because I don't actually own any white bags, and I find most of my bags tend to be neutral, natural leather toned, or black, and sometimes black can just be too hard and too heavy. A little bit like wearing black boots. Sometimes they can just be a little too much for an outfit and can kill an outfit. So I decided to opt for this cute little white bag. It sort of reminds me of a little puffy croissant, but it's genuine leather, made in Italy. The team at Teddy Blake have actually given me a discount code to share with you. I think it is Leonie, TB Leonie 20, but I will put it up on the screen here, and you will save $20 off your Teddy Blake purchase. As I said, this isn't sponsored, but this beautiful bag was kindly gifted to me, and I've been wearing it and really loving it. There's Nothing like buying quality that actually doesn't break the bank as well, and that's what this brand is all about. So I'll leave a link to Teddy Blake in the description box below, and if you want to have a little look at their gorgeous bags, then do so, and don't forget to use my discount code if you'd like to save $20 off your first purchase. Another reason to avoid following fashion trends is you potentially run the risk of losing touch with your own sense of style. If you're a little bit confused about your own personal style anyway, trying to really hone in on each new season trend can just cause a bit of confusion. It's really hard for you to step back and look at those trends and work out which ones are going to be right for you if you don't have a good handle on your own personal style and what looks right and makes you feel good. Can anyone relate to this? I think one of the reasons why we get this sort of confusion around trends is because every season we're bombarded with new trends, and if we don't have a really good sense of not only our style but also our body type and what actually works for us, those new trends can cause clutter and confusion, and generally it just leaves us thinking where to start, where to begin. So I suppose that's another reason why you shouldn't necessarily avidly follow trends, but perhaps you need to step back and discover your own personal style first and what that looks like. The other reason that fashion trends can be a little dangerous to follow really closely is that not all fashion trends are going to work for you. And the danger in that is if you don't really have a good handle on what your style is and what your look is and what does suit you, then it's really easy to fall into the trap of being a bit of a fashion victim. I don't like that saying, but essentially it's a fashion trend victim. So you see something, it's on trend, you see other people successfully wearing it, and you almost mindlessly go and buy that piece without kind of really giving it consideration as to whether it's going to be right for you, for your lifestyle, for your body type, and for the other clothes that you already own. So that, I think, again, is another risk of following the trends too closely. You do run the risk of falling into the trap of buying pieces that are not right for you and were never going to be right for you. Now, I have touched on this briefly, but the other reason to avoid trends is the confusion that they cause. And I suppose this comes back to where you're actually looking at the trends. Where are you getting your trends information from? If you're looking at magazines and only seeing stick-thin models wearing pieces, it's very hard to translate them back to you and your everyday life. If you're looking at runway shows, again, that's really tricky because runway to real way is a huge leap of faith, and unless you have a really good handle on fashion and pulling together outfits, it can just be really confusing. So I think it's really important to look at where you get your trend advice from. One thing that I think is really foolproof is having some labels, fashion labels that you know work for you, that you love, that you buy regularly, and looking at what they're doing each season, looking at what new styles they're incorporating, because generally what will happen is that they'll incorporate new fashion styles that will also work with pieces from previous collections. And for me, that's always really valuable because I don't want to be starting every new season afresh again. The trends for me are about just updating my existing wardrobe and creating something interesting and fun and new, and just giving I suppose, breathing a little bit of life or a little bit of newness into pieces that I already own. So one of the ways to do that, if you are not sure where to get your fashion trend advice, is to just look at the website of some of your favorite designers and some of your favorite labels that you know always work for you, and just see what they're doing to update some of their looks. And it might be just adding different colors or slightly different styles or adding more prints. Just have a little look at what they're doing, and then that will be an easier way to transition into some of the trends and just update some of the items or some of the pieces that you already own. Now, the last reason, and definitely not the least important, is the problem with following some of the fashion trends really closely is that you can't help but compare yourself to others, and that's never a good thing. I love that quote, comparison is the thief of joy, and it truly is. So you may see someone on Instagram or online wearing something and it's clearly the coolest, newest piece to have, and if you can't afford it, or if it doesn't work for you, or whatever the reason may be, you don't get that. It's that feeling of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. Or essentially, if something looks so much better on someone else than it does on you when you go and try it on in the store, it's hard not to compare yourself and not come away feeling bad about yourself. So the last thing that I would want is for fashion trends to make me feel unhappy, because at the end of the day, to me, fashion has to be fun. It has to be a way of expressing myself and a way of feeling good. And if it doesn't do that for you, and following the trends just makes you feel bad about yourself, then I think it's time to just step back and wear what you feel good in and wear what you like. And often they're the sort of comments that I get from people that are anti-fashion trends. It's all about, they generally tend to say, just wear what works for you, wear what makes you feel good. And I couldn't agree more. We have enough challenges in life. We don't need fashion to be another one. As I said, it should just be fun, and it just should be the icing on the cake. And if following fashion trends to the letter is not making you feel good, it's a reason to not bother. Anyway, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, I'd love you to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.